게임은 재밌으면 된다니까?
불멸의 전사 2.
Living life that easy.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever CrossFinals. GSL versus SSL. We're going to start this off with the Archon mode matches. I am Tasis. Joined with me is Litosis. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastically tasteless. StarCraft all day, every day.
That's right. Yesterday was a beautiful day over there at CrossFinal Archon. We had one of the best Pro League days of all time. And I think today might even be more special.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could be. We have the two top finishers from SSL.
That's right.
And from GSL. We have a little bracket going on to see who is the ultimate champion. You know, who does Zest go through to claim this title?
Yeah.
And of course, an Archon match between SSL and GSL.
And by the way, I think this is the coolest possible Archon mode match you could ask for.
Yeah, it's pretty
This is actually a pretty cool idea. I'm really glad we're doing this.
Yeah, it's really cool to actually have some more Archon matches. Last time we had top end pros at ISF play.
That's right.
It was amazing. It was like some fantastic Legacy of the Void going on. So hoping to see a little bit of that here again.
All right, we're going to be introing our players shortly here, but as you can see, this event is all over the place. In Korea, outside Korea, a lot of people watching on the different networks.
Yes, of course. It's got to be all over the place, guys. So spread the word and let everyone know that this is where to be.
That's right. All right, we're going to bring our players out now. And just so you know, to the production room, I think the audio is too loud here. And here's our first player, it's Zest.
테란이 가질 수 있는 최고의 속도를 보여줬습니다. 데뷔 3.60일 만에 결승에 오르면서 당시 경기장을 감독의 도가니로 빠뜨렸었죠. 필드 로스터 전태양 선수입니다.
And now we're going to bring out TY. These are our two GSL boys. By the way, that was a fantastic finals. If you did not see that, watch that right after this.
Indeed. Of course, the SSL players.
That's right.
You will be coming out to go against them. Dark, the champion of SSL. Best Zerg in the world.
자, 마지막 선수입니다. 현역 프로게이머 중에서 가장 꾸준하고 한결같은 선수가 아닐까 싶습니다. 데뷔 8년 만에
And of course, Zest Jr. will be coming out here. Also known as Stats. I have a quick theory about the Archon match. Team KT versus half Team KT. If I was Stats, I'd be attacking those drones, making Dark play against me and them.
Make no mistake, guys, the GSL guys are the good guys. The Spoke guys are the bad guys, okay? No, this is going to be a lot of fun. They actually have their races pre-selected. The maps are pre-selected as well.
Yep, and that's always good to do so we actually know what the hell is going on with that. It can be pretty crazy in Archon mode because these guys play multiple races.
Yeah.
결과가 안 좋아서 좀 지금
How do you feel today?
오늘 이김으로써 좀 분위기 반전.
Yesterday our team didn't make good results in Pro League, so I've actually been pretty disappointed about that. I'm going to make it up though.
저도 어제 1승도 못하고 바로 져버려가지고 굉장히 스트레스를 많이 받아 있는데 오늘 그 스트레스를 좀
Yeah,
풀고
yesterday it
싶어요.
was stressful for me as well in Pro League. So I want to reduce that stress tonight and dominate.
선수도 피곤하시죠? 어떠세요?
일단
Stats, you must be exhausted as well. How do you feel?
좀 아쉽지만은 그래도
Yeah, last night sucked.
열심히 그동안 준비했고 그래가지고 준우승이라도 할 수 있었던 것 같고요.
I know all my teammates prepared really hard for yesterday. In reference, by the way, guys, to the SPO TV, the Pro League match. But I'm going to make it up tonight by winning this whole thing. Dark, you must feel pretty lonely up here, surrounded by only KT players. I actually haven't played for a while. I've been doing pretty well. It's been good to take a break, but I feel like my condition's in good shape. I've actually mostly been sleeping, he says. I feel good.
첫 번째 경기는 집중감 모드입니다. 일단 4강 경기 전에 집중감 모드를 펼치기 때문에
So
혼자
this is going to be our
사람들이 되는
first
게
cross
아니거든요.
finals.
일단
It's going to be
4강의 첫
also our
번째
first
경기
major show match in
주성우
Archon mode.
선수와 그리고 전태양 선수 대 박명우 선수와 김대호 선수의 경기가 펼쳐지는데 두 분이
So
연습을
it's
좀
Team
하셨어요.
GSL versus Team Star League.
어제 결승전 있어가지고 연습.
Are you guys ready? Did you train for this very much?
아무래도 근데 여기
Not as much as we'd have liked to,
장소가
since we just had the Pro League finals yesterday.
홈무대인 것 같아가지고 좀 더 편하게 할 수 있을 것 같아요.
네. 주성우 선수는
But
항상
frankly, we're feeling pretty
승리에 대한
comfortable
자신감이나
playing in Archon mode,
스스로에 대한
and we're pretty comfortable playing in this studio anyways.
이번 집중감 매치도 승리하실 자신이 있는지 궁금하네요.
Zest, are you confident enough to win this Archon mode
어떻게 될지
match?
모르겠는데 지금
네.
종족
Actually, I have no idea.
네.
약간 후보전 위주로 많이 나와가지고
네.
빌드 싸움이 많이 중요하지 않을까.
이렇게 조건부로 말씀하시는 거.
I think it's really just going to come down to what builds we try to
자,
use in
박명우
the
선수와
games.
김대엽 선수. 박명우 선수는 자신 있으세요?
저는
So
지정감
Dark
매치가 있다는 걸
and
보고 나서
네.
Dark, are you
부정
confident?
연습밖에 안 했어요.
그래요. 그리고 모두의 육식 것에서 또 맞춰보셨죠? 그때 맞춰본 상대와의 호흡이
I heard there was
어땠어요?
Archon mode coming up here, so I've only been practicing my off races.
네.
아니 뭐 이번엔 좀
So you practiced a lot?
네. 그렇게 좋진 않으셨어요. 김대엽 선수 다시
No, my results are not so good. I'm not as good at my off race in practice. What about you, Stats?
잘안 맞았고요.
네.
잘안 맞았었고.
네.
근데 어제
Yeah, I tried to play with Dark, but it actually didn't go too well.
서울하고 태양이가 유독 둘이 많이 붙어서 이렇게 지내더라고요.
네.
벌써부터 좀 집중감 모드.
After the Pro League finals last night,
네.
그러는 것 같은데.
TY and Zest,
좀 걱정이 좀 되긴 해요.
네. 하지만
they were hanging out all night and sticking together all night. Made me pretty jealous,
김대엽 선수가 충분히
and I think they might be ready to beat us. I'm going to have
또
to
이런
change that.
생각도 드는데요. 요즘 자신감이 하늘을 찌를 것 같은데 어떠세요?
일단 최근에 좀 경기를 많이 해가지고
Stats, besides last night, you've been having really good results in Pro League. Aren't you feeling confident tonight?
할수 있을 것 같아가지고.
Yeah, recently today I played a lot in broadcasted matches,
모습 보여드리지
and
않을까
I'm pretty
생각하고
confident.
있어요.
네.
I think I'm going to show a great performance tonight.
팽팽한 승부가 있을 것으로 예상이 되는데요. 선수들의 각오를 끝으로 간략하게 들어보겠습니다. 김대엽 선수.
All right, final words from the players.
일단은 여기 오기 전까지만
Stats you first.
해도 그냥 편하게 즐기자.
Before I arrived to the studio,
근데 막상 이렇게 와서 경기하려니까
I was in the mood to just have some fun
이기고 싶다라는 마음
and not play these games too serious. But now that I'm down here,
이기면서 이번에 꼭 잘해서
once again,
모두도 이기고
I've been inspired to win no matter what.
이겨서 꼭 우승해서 좋은 모습 보여드리겠습니다.
네. 자, 박명우 선수.
So I'm going to show great performance to my fans by winning the cross finals.
뭐 부정 연습할 때부터 이미 재미가 아니었고요. 저는 모든 경기 열심히 해서 이번 크로스 파이널도 제 무대.
I never take it just for fun.
네.
I always get serious when it comes to a gaming match.
같은데 오늘 경기력이 기대가 되네요. 자, 주성 선수 각오 전해주시죠.
당연히 GSL 우승한 만큼
And
이번
Zest, you?
대회도 우승이 목표고 꼭 우승해야.
I'm a GSL champion.
네, 팀원 간에 하기 때문에 저는 이겨야
It's going to be me that's going to have to win tonight.
네.
제가 좀 팀킬에서 많이 졌었어가지고
네.
When it comes to team kills, I'm actually not that good at it.
얻을 게 더 많을 것 같아요.
그렇군요. 자, 전태양 선수 마지막으로
So,
각오 들려주시죠.
if we win in a team match, I'll be pretty impressed.
우승하고 나서 굉장히 아쉬움이 컸었는데 꼭 오늘 우승해서 좀 한을 풀고 싶어요.
Yeah, well, I lost to GSL and I'm the runner-up.
집중감 매치.
서욱이 형이 워낙
And I don't want to have any more
잘하니까
disappointments
당연히
today.
이길 거라고 생각하고 있고
네.
본 경기에서도 제가 좀 이겼으면 좋겠어요.
네, 알겠습니다. 자, 이렇게
So,
오늘 경기에
I'm
나서는
hoping to play off
선수들과
against
이야기
Zest again later on
나눠봤습니다.
tonight. I think I can win him. All right, beat him
크로스
tonight.
매치 시즌 1 본격적으로
All right, guys, that does it for our interview. And that means there's only one thing left to do, Archon.
What is that?
We got to go into Archon mode.
All right. Well, you and I are already in Archon mode.
That's
but,
right.
We are waiting for these guys to fuse.
We enter Archon mode once the mics come on.
Yeah. And welcome, guys.
Good to see you. Thank
Yeah.
you for tuning in to this very special night. This is the Cross Finals. We're starting this out with an Archon mode show match, but after that, we're going to have very exciting matches.
Yeah. You guys get 4 best-of-5s tonight.
That's
One
right.
Archon best-of-5, and then we get into the bracketed tournament.
That's right.
No loser match or anything like that. Just it will be Zest against Stats. Winner of that against the winner of Dark versus TY. So should be really good.
Who's going to win the Archon mode, Artosis?
Ah, geez.
The GSL players.
I think
the good guys.
The GSL players will probably win.
I'm rooting for them.
Yeah.
Home field advantage here in the studio.
As far as the actual tournament itself, Dark was the only one that didn't have to play last night, so, I mean, he should have a little bit of an edge, but we'll see.
We'll have to see. It'll be interesting. We don't normally get to have a moment where we get to basically make like a fantasy finals based off of super recent results like this, and we kind of get to see, when we put them back, all the pieces back together again, who actually is coming out on top here. So this is going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
It's going to be very nice.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So, guys, get out there, tell your friends. This is kind of like a weird day. I guess it doesn't have as much hype as it really should. There's been so much hype recently.
It's
GSL finals,
it's the
Pro
first
League
time
finals.
We've done something like this, but this really should be one of the hypest things in StarCraft 2 of the entire year.
Yeah, this was like a special thing added by Blizzard this year. This is kind of like a it's like a fun fan service thing, and like the thing is, there's a ton of money on the line. Which, obviously, and there's also WCS points, which is kind of funny. Like, they're going to, whoever, like, for instance, it's really good if Stats or TY can end up winning this because they get much closer to securing a spot at BlizzCon.
That's right. So this is going to be fun. On to the Archon mode, we are going to see some really interesting stuff. Now, Archon mode doesn't necessarily mean that it's easier for the pro gamers. In a perfect world, it should be, but you got to think with guys that have 300 APM, you put two of them together, how many overlapping actions per minute are you going to have?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy because we actually have TY who like gets up to 500 in game. So, I mean, every player can get somewhere near there. So let's say we're going to have 800-ish APM at once on both sides, which is pretty crazy. But how well will they work together? And as we see here, first place in the individual match, plus 1,000 WCS points is pretty insane. And, of course, a ton of money on the line here. But if you get third and fourth place and stuff, like, you don't really get anything. You just have to go home.
So here is what tonight's going to look like. It's going to start out with that Archon mode. That's a best of 5. Round of 4 matches, both of them a best of 5. And then the final match is a best of 5 as well.
Yep. And as you see, there is our map pool. Pretty good map pool overall. So those are the maps that we will be using, kind of like a mix of the leagues here. Anyways, we've already told you guys that. So I got to ask, what is your prediction of how this is going to go down?
For Archon mode or just in general?
In general, like the actual cross final, what happens there?
I think Zest wins.
Zest wins?
I think Zest takes it.
Okay.
But, I mean, maybe not. I mean, he did have that pretty big loss last night. Do you see me trying to kill that mosquito?
I'm like sitting like this. I'm like, all right, this is how I'm just like.
I'm actually just laying with my head on your shoulder. Zest is just in such good form right now.
Sure.
He did have that pretty bad loss. I think overall KT pretty crushed from the Pro League finals last night. They were really, I mean, everybody was really expecting them to take that. It was kind of a Cinderella story if Jinner did take it. So how much will that affect him? I don't know, but the fact that he lost a pivotal match in that was pretty huge. So that can go one of two ways. Either he's going to be in a bad mood and not play as well, if he's somebody that feeds off the negative energy, or he can turn that into positive energy and try to make that comeback work, and he feeds off that. So
thank you, Mr. Miyagi. All right. He's either going to wax on or he's going to wax off. I'm oh, that's so sick.
That's right.
Yeah, he's going to do one of those. Oh,
Sensei
man.
Tasteless. He must micro like water flowing or something.
Yeah, I love it. But yeah, man, I'm kind of like pumped up. I'm really excited. We've had so much great StarCraft lately. You and I were just in DreamHack tours in France.
That was so fun. That fantastic.
Great matches there.
I've just been running around casting great finals all over the place.
Come back.
Tonight's going to be no exception.
Yeah, that Pro League finals last night was quite fantastic. That
was one of the best nights of StarCraft, man.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really solid. My favorite part was
expectations going in, to be totally frank. I thought KT was probably.
I thought for sure Trap would all kill it, but it was a great night with like a lot of like fantastic games in there and like good storylines back and forth. My favorite part though was when you and Wolf talked for 30 minutes straight on camera. I thought that was
like
pretty
about,
good.
40 minutes, 50 minutes. So PvPs is what it's going to start out as. The two teams got to decide ahead of time. And now we're gonna have a lot of. I didn't expect to have this many PvPs, and we're gonna have more.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Different matchups and stuff, but
yeah, I mean, I don't really know. Probably, you know, if it's anything like what we see on Reddit, it's because the Zerg and Terran players think that Protoss is Zimba. So probably that's what's going on here, right? Like Dark and TY are just saying, all right, let's just let's use that Protoss. I can micro adapts. I can press the F key. Really, it should be a fun Archon match. I wonder how well they'll do, because obviously they haven't had a lot of time to prepare for the Archon match specifically working together.
I'm assuming, I mean, this is a pretty rudimentary analysis here, but I'm assuming that they just delegate the tasks. One guy's going to micro, the other guy's going to macro.
Yeah.
And,
but like, when two perfect people delegate those tasks, what does that even look like?
Well, it means that nobody's disruptor balls are going to connect with the stalkers.
Yeah, that's probably not something you want to go for.
Yeah, I cannot imagine. You know, the disruptor's a great unit that can interrupt micro.
Yeah.
It is not great if the person if one of the players doesn't have the macro at all.
Yeah.
Right? Then you're basically just, in theory at least, we'll see how this actually works.
You probably have to go either Blink Stalker or Stargate in a PvP when you have this much APM behind it. Because
I think so,
the amount of attention you could give to something like an Oracle or Phoenixes or Blink Stalkers for that matter with a Warp Prism, like all that is pretty crazy.
You know, I'm also interested in seeing how much more enhanced of a Protoss versus Protoss does this look like with two pro gamers in a game.
Yeah.
Will it look kind of the same? Will it look like AlphaGo is playing this, or will it in fact be the opposite? Will there be clouding of tasks and overlapping?
It could be. I'm not really sure. How do you actually delegate it? Because let's say that you have the macro, right? Like you have the Protoss players macro. You're going to get the right unit sets, but are they going to micro them correctly? Now, let's say you have the Protoss players micro. Well, TY is probably just going to make only Adepts because he perceives that to be the strongest Protoss unit, and Dark is going to make only Immortals. So how does that turn out, right? Like, I guess then Stats and Dark win.
You're so funny, Artosis. We are ready for game number 1. The first, sickest, probably, well, I can get to the first and sickest. It's going to be sick, guys. First ever Archon mode match here in the GSL studios. Let's do this. The GSL boys versus the Starleague boys. In the upper right, in the blue, the good guys.
The good guys.
The good guys.
That's so funny. Okay, they didn't make a pylon. Okay, they literally weren't making a pylon, a probe after the first one.
In the bottom left, in the red, the bad guys.
All right, this is already
Dark&Stats, the Starleague, best of the best.
Okay, I'm a bit worried for our GSL boys.
Okay, so
B-O-I-Z.
B-O-I-Z or S, depending on how dank you want to be when you're saying it. So yeah, let's talk about this. They already got a pylon laid.
Yeah, they didn't start their next probes. That was kind of weird, but looks like. It's PvP, guys. We'll see exactly how they want to do it. Of course, this pylon will be right down to the very red when an Adept pops out of that.
Now, here's what we're going to do, Artosis. When we play Archon mode, right?
Yeah.
You're going to do everything, and I'm going to scout with the probe and attack the pylon.
Yeah,
that's
sounds
how we're going to do it, okay?
That sounds really good to me, actually. I was thinking we should definitely try that, but I don't want to play Protoss with you.
What do we play?
I want to play Zerg or Terran with you. If we play,
I think we should do Zerg if we do Archon mode.
Yeah, if we do Zerg, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you use that first Overlord. And I'm going to let you go and scout exactly what's going on with that first Overlord. And if you lose it, I don't want you to touch anything else for the rest of the game.
Right when I get there, I'm going to be like, found him on our team chat.
You're kind of like the grunt.
You don't even have to watch the mini-map. You can just focus on the center of the screen. I got it.
Job's done. It's like...
That's right.
You're just...
From there on out, I only make Overlords and backseat game you hard. I'm like, look out, Jay, he's attacking you. Try not to lose your drones.
It's if this was like Heart of the Swarm, I would just put you on Chrono Boost. I'd be like, all right, just keep chronoing these upgrades. As soon as Chrono's done, you chrono them again, okay? We're going to have the most sharply timed
chronos ever.
Yeah.
It's good to have everybody down here for the CrossFinals. The studio is actually quite full. We are very curious to see what the turnout would be for an event like this.
Yeah, and the studio is filled up quite well. You know, people are. This is Sunday night here in Seoul, and People are still pretty hyped, I would say, from last night. That was pretty sick, man. That was a pretty full studio you guys had over there.
Oh, yeah. It's actually funny because in the SPO studio, it's harder to get...
What is this?
What
the
is
GSL
this?
Finals? Like, come on. What is this guy? Look at this. Look at this tryhard here. I love it. He should be dancing.
Look, that's like Chase is playing this game right now.
And look at this. Now, oh, man, this is what happens when you have this much APM.
Yeah.
Programmers don't know what to do with themselves. I need to see some /dance commands. All right, look at this. Oh, that is the sickest micro on that mothership core coming in the side.
He's not going to get to see much.
Yeah. Sees a distinct lack of pylons. Oh, wait, no, there's a pylon right there.
Yeah, he saw one.
Yeah.
That could still count as somewhat lacking.
But look at this. We have Blink already on the way for Dark&Stats, whereas Zest&TY, man, their Twilight is way later.
Look at that.
No wonder.
What do you like as far as builds here?
Well, I think that you have to just get like super active units, either Blink Stalkers or Phoenixes are going to be it, where like as long as you're using them, you get consistent value out of them. And Blink Stalkers they kind of like beat Phoenixes overall, so that's probably the best way to go. And
yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you have to go for Stalkers.
Yeah, like
intense amount of Stalkers, because it seems like if you have just technically more APM than is necessary to ever play the game at. You know what I mean?
Blink Stalkers are theoretically one of the best things in the game, and like if you have them paired up with a Warp Prism, like just non-stop perfect micro with like unlimited Stalkers behind it, that's going to be like really, really, really hard to stop. So that's kind of what I'm expecting to see here, and I think they're both probably going to go for that. You know, grab an Observer to get Blink out, get a Prism, and then just like blink, 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 blink,
blink, blink, blink, blink, blink.
Yep.
So we got the third bases coming down here. By the way, why do they both choose Protoss on this map?
Well, I think
because we have like, okay, so I'm just looking at the match list here. Out of the 5 potential matches we have 4 PvPs. And then we have a TBC right in the middle on Prion Terraces.
Well, the Prion Terraces one makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like you don't really want to play Protoss on that map. Terran's going to be a better choice against Zerg, and they have a Zerg on that team, so obviously Zerg would be the choice there. But yeah, like I think that this is like a very comfortable map, and I'm a little bit... The thing is, all the 4 maps that they chose are all very comfortable maps for Protoss. Dusk Towers, Orbital Shipyard, Lairlock Crest,
I guess that's true.
And Ruins of Saris are all...
Tosis!
They're comfortable.
They're coming in here. One player has Blink, the other does not.
Yeah.
And this is actually enough time to do a pretty large amount of damage.
Yeah. And
now here's a question. Which one do you think is actually microing there?
Okay, it's probably Dark. I don't know.
That's Dark.
It looks like Dark the way he danced there.
Yeah.
That looks like the way a Zerg would make Stalkers dance.
All right, Blink's done now for Team Star League.
Yeah, and Dark&Stats actually, they have a Prism out, and they actually just finished a Dark Shrine, so a DT drop going to be coming up.
Yeah, let's see how ready he is for that.
Well, they do have an Observer kind of like watching for a Prism to come in. Seems kind of obvious that there would be one. Look at that building layout too. That's really smart. I bet you Stats decided to do that.
You're so funny. All right, we got the DTs coming out. Looks like Zest and TY completely on top of it with the Warp In over here. The Observer coming in time, maybe a little bit preemptive there on the Pylon Cannon.
And look at this. I think actually right now they're both microing. I actually do think that like one of them has a Prism and the other has the Stalkers here.
Oh, for sure.
The way that this is going down, this is great too.
Oh!
Ooh.
Who was in charge of that Warp Prism?
Zest. Well, no, Zest blinked in to kill the Warp Prism.
That's
for
right.
Sure. Yeah. TY's making those gases right now. That's what he's doing.
We have to assume that was Dark with the Warp Prism.
Yeah.
They said give the Warp Prism to the Zerg player.
Yeah, seriously. It's like, hey, you're always dropping lings in my main. Like, you know how to use this, the unload function.
That's right.
Not the load function. That's going to be weird for Dark. Like, I'm so far away. What is going on?
Well, it's actually going to be Team GSL now pushing out and taking the 4th base. And with the Immortal here and the good amount of Stalkers, we're going to have a push headed southbound over here, which can actually stop Dark&Stats from getting this expansion up. Now, because Team Star League actually went for the expansion right away here. Oh, there we go. So they are mic'd. I was wondering that because these headsets are totally soundproofed.
Yeah.
So it'd be hilarious if they just like couldn't hear each other and it's like
that
a total
would be
disaster.
Funny. Just like pinging and whatnot.
Yeah.
both grabbing the same units, going in different directions.
That's right.
All right, well, I mean, looking at this, it really looks like Zest and TY are crushing. They're up a base right now. They have 2 forges instead of 1, so they are going to be up a single upgrade and then 2 upgrades a little bit later on. I mean, everything is looking nice for them, especially considering Dark&Stats lost a Prism with DTs without doing too much with it.
Yeah, we got a War Prism going to come in here again and try to do some harass, but frankly, if that doesn't do much damage, I just don't see a way for Dark&Stats to really recover and get back into this game.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they end up trying to go about this. We do have those DTs starting to get a little bit of damage. He's going to have to pick that up, though, especially as there's a cannon and an observer. Those DTs, I mean, even if a mothership was over them, he would be able to see them.
Yeah. we got that pushing out now. Now, I think what the best way to play this would be is for Team GSL to stay back, defend this attack, and then counterattack. And I think you just win the econ game. It's going to be a pretty ABC win.
Yeah, like if they get up to 2-2, they should be able to just kind of win. We are about to have +2 attack over here for Dark&Stats, so that's going to be a somewhat equal as far as those upgrades go. But, Army Supply right now is very, very similar, and looks like Dark&Stats have decided to run away a bit.
And they're going to back up over here. We do have a War Prism in the front. Also keeping this War Prism back here for Team Star League, driving that back. The Archon's now branching off, and he's going to have to hold this position. I think it's very possible. Definitely not good to lose that Immortal, though.
Don't forget, he actually has 10 supply out on the map harassing right now. So that is 10 down, plus a 10 supply lead here for Zest&TY, which means 20 supply extra for this fight.
The Archon number, though, is pretty good here for Team Star League. So all the Zealots might end up getting melted way too quickly here, allowing the Zealots from Team Star League to spill in with ease.
Well, those Archons are doing a fantastic job. The Stalkers in the back here for Zest&TY are going to have to kind of gain some value here. And, actually, there's no Observer left over, right? I mean, those DTs seem like they did a lot. Okay, one finally comes down.
He sees that War Prism. And he's actually going to go ahead and spot that.
Yeah, the Archon count really helped out right there.
Yeah, once I saw that Archon count, I thought, man, this is a bad idea if they push in here. But we got Archons being made over here for Team GSL. As Team Star League now going to try to push in.
And coming up across the map right now, they actually do have a bit of a supply advantage, and they have quite a few charge lots in here with more Archons once again. And that Archon count is the important number. So this is going to be very tough for Zest&TY. They start to back up. They do have the Mothership Core here and some defensive places to actually engage, but I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Okay, the Zealots are going to come in here from behind. They got so many Archons, and the angling here going to be a little bit more difficult. Nice warp in right now. Oh my God, is Team GSL going to lose Tosis?
They could, but right now this micro is good, and if they waste these Archons,
shields are very low right now.
Yeah, all these are about to pop, so that is going to change everything here, but there are a lot of Zealots up here as well.
Yeah, he's continuing to warp in right now. Now, if he can actually take out the Nexus down here on the low ground, for certain the 4th base is going to be taken out here as well. More warp ins continuing. Really good position here with the Archon, really maximizing splash damage on the ramp.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we should have Zest&TY be able to just barely hold this with their triple observer sitting right there, but that was kind of wasteful from Dark&Stats. When those Archons got low, the fact that they stayed right in there and just let them die.
Yeah, that was really weird. I don't know why they pulled out.
Because, the Archons, they're really there to tank damage and kill Zealots, and when there are no Zealots left, you're just fighting against Stalkers and Immortals that are, in a spread against you, and you have, this bad Archon range, you gotta back up and wait.
The thing is, Archons and Immortals are basically... Everything else is there so that to get in the way of the Archons and Immortals. They deal all the damage. And once you just have 4 Archons left, I mean, you really want to try to back up and regroup,
Basically, if you're using charge lots as a big part of your composition in any matchup, as soon as the charge lots are gone, you should probably think about backing out of there.
Yeah, unless the charge lots can refill and come in again.
Yeah, and that's going to be when you can actually get the real value, right? Because the charge lots are really hard to kill off. They're dealing extra damage, so maybe a little bit sloppy there.
Well, the 5th base is being acquired now in the center left as this game goes on. And also same for Team GSL over here on the right. Team Star League now going to back up here as Team GSL is pushing. But again, the Archon count definitely superior here. Dark&Stats really doing a good job of keeping a more proper unit composition. And I don't really see much of an easy way to catch up in this. Although supplies are even, it's still just a scarier setup here for what Team Starlink's got.
It is, but don't forget, we do have those great upgrades on the way right now for Zest&TY. So once those finish, they are going to have the advantage in that regard, which is a pretty big deal, actually, when you don't have too much splash going on.
Okay, the Archons are now over here in the front. Pretty nice arc here. It looks like Zest&TY barely trying to hang on. I don't know if it's going to last for much longer. And that's not pretty much Archons hitting other Archons here. Good warpins, though. Good curve right now by Team GSL.
Yeah, that's a very good concave there. The cannon helping out as well. They need another warpin of Zealot. Some good micro on these Archons as well. They're getting very low that they are about to pop. And down some of them start to go. Nice warpins over here by Zest&TY. A lot of Zealots coming out. These Stalkers unable to deal with this. This is going to reduce the warpins, ultimately allowing Team GSL to keep the 5th base secure. All right, this is very nice harassment going on right now, and with those other Archons coming up to help out, look at that, 3-3. They're up 3 upgrades right now, so the Zealot wars are like so favored right now for Zest&TY. And that's going to give a lot of push potential for those damage-dealing units, the Archons and the Immortals, to then get in there. And a lot more Archons. Speaking of which, on the way. Archon Zealot coming in right now. A bunch of them are morphing. All right, Tazos, here we go. Snowball fight. That's right, cotton ball fight here as the Archons now spill down here, and I think actually that might do it. Yeah, that should be enough to actually finish him off. This seems to be the technical knowledge of PvP here shining through as Team Star League goes down. Team GSL wins match number 1. Yeah, very well done there by Zest&TY. Stats and Dark had some good ideas, like they had the quicker blink, they tried to do some additional harassment. It looked like both of them were microing it at one moment there, but at the end of the day, didn't work out for them. Overcommitting with the Archons in the 3rd base, that front natural, that was the real mistake. Well, our next map is going to be Orbital Shipyard, and it's going to be another PvP, as that's the race both teams have chosen. Yeah, by the way, that was a really good PvP. Like, that was super high skill, like really, really well played by both sides. That was not some jobber action. But it was a little bit rocky to start. There were some bumpy moments there early on, but you could see that eventually the players kind of found their balance and were able to keep control and keep the tempo going. And that's not easy to do, guys. I mean, remember, just because you got 2 players doing everything doesn't mean everything goes perfectly. You can